Have you seen the strikes Bruce Lee mastered? What incredible records did he manage to set? I'll show you the most unbelievable footage and tell you about his difficult life, where every fan tried to ambush him on the streets to catch the invincible Bruce Lee off guard. Even though this guy has been gone since July 20th, 1973, many still consider Bruce Lee a true superhero and an unbeatable street fighter. As a child, he was an unusual kid, and a star's destiny was assured to him from infancy. American citizenship, a name, and even his first role. He had it all from the start. How? I'll explain now. Because his story is truly unique. Born in San Francisco, little Bruce lived in the US for only 3 months before his family returned to Hong Kong. It was there, during his father Hoy Lee's opera tour in America, that his father decided Bruce was destined for fame. At 3 months old, Bruce already appeared in film as an infant. At just 6 years old, when Bruce appeared in the movie The Birth of Mankind, he was already taking on challenging roles reflecting his fiery temperament, just like him as a child, when no one could keep up with him. And yes, he played a girl in that role. Surprising, right? Although Bruce later said he wasn't ashamed of it because it was just a movie, and he was simply experimenting with acting. On the set of the series The Green Hornet, Bruce Lee faced an unexpected problem. His strikes were so fast that the cameraman had to ask him to slow down so his movements would be visible on camera. But how did his love for fighting come about? Even in his school years, Bruce showed himself to have extraordinary willpower and character. He not only hated studying, but also made his classmates do his homework by threatening them. He outright refused to study on his own and was often transferred from one class to another, sometimes even changing schools. Bruce Lee grew up in an atmosphere of street fights, where chains and pens with blades were used, making his life feel like a never-ending battle. His mother recalled that at age 10, he could barely count to 10, and by the time he entered LaSalle College in Hong Kong, he only knew how to add and subtract. Despite academic difficulties, Bruce made up for his shortcomings with victories in street fights, which gave him a sense of confidence and independence. Needless to say, people looked at him with caution. But time went on, and things changed. Despite his image as an invincible fighter and the little dragon, Bruce Lee wasn't always so in reality. He could take down his peers, but then the serious challenges began. In his teenage years, his skinny build often put him at a disadvantage in street fights. Larger and physically stronger opponents sometimes had the upper hand, which pushed Bruce to seek new ways to perfect himself in martial arts. His decision to train under the famous master Ip Man was driven by his desire to defend himself against older, more experienced opponents, not just to learn fighting techniques, but to turn his body into the perfect tool for self-defense. Over the next 4 years, Bruce Lee trained intensively and became a skilled fighter, known not only among his classmates at LaSalle College but also beyond. His reputation as a great fighter and kung fu master grew with each fight won. Bruce especially sought fights with Englishmen who dismissed kung fu as ineffective and fake. However, Lee not only proved them wrong, but also used these fights as opportunities to practice his skills. Quite the training sessions, huh? Things got to the point where Bruce had to flee the country. Fights on rooftop buildings were especially dramatic and memorable among local teenage gangs. One of the landmark battles took place on the roof of an administrative building in Kowloon when Ip Man's school accepted a challenge from the representatives of Choi Lee Foot's school. Bruce Lee won so decisively in this fight, knocking out one of his opponent's front teeth, that it led to serious consequences, including the injured boy's parents going to the police. This incident became the catalyst for his mother's decision to send him to the US to avoid further legal trouble and give him a chance at a new life. Before leaving, his teacher Ip Man gave him final advice, reminding him of the importance of harmony and learning to manage his problems by moving with them rather than confronting them head-on. Bruce's mother, Grace Lee, gave him $100 to help him get started in America, marking the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Living for only 32 years, Bruce Lee managed to set a number of world records that still inspire awe. Lee is known for his unique physical feats that demonstrated his extraordinary strength and speed. One of his most famous achievements is generating 1,600 pounds of force with nunchucks. His famous 1-inch punch could send a 165-pound opponent flying 16 to 19 feet. Can you imagine? Additionally, Lee could do 2,500 push-ups in a single set, 400 on one hand, 200 on two fingers, and 100 on one thumb. His side kicks were so powerful that he could punch through a 100-pound sandbag with a single blow. Another of his records was the ability to kick a 300-pound bag to a height of 16 feet. Even sounds unbelievable, right? These achievements not only highlight Lee's physical training, but also underscore his innovative approach to martial arts. He developed his own martial arts style, Jeet Kune Do, which translates to the way of the intercepting fist. This style emphasized simplicity, directness, and effectiveness, allowing it to be used in a variety of situations. Bruce Lee was also one of the first to popularize Eastern martial arts in the West, which significantly changed the perception of martial arts movies in Hollywood. He opened the world of Hollywood cinema to actors of Asian descent and paved the way for future generations. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. After the movie The Big Boss exploded on Hong Kong screens, Bruce Lee became a symbol of martial arts, and many young Chinese wanted to prove they could match his skills. Some even waited outside the Lee family's home, hoping to challenge him to a fight. A few tried to attack him by surprise, but Bruce was already looking toward the future, making plans for his career in America, as shown in his diary entry. He dreamed of becoming the first highly paid Eastern superstar in the US, starring in exciting films and earning $10 million by the age of 30. However, in reality, his life at the time was far from the cinematic dreams. His primary goal was survival. In Hong Kong, this meant knowing how to defend himself on the streets, while in the US, it meant hard work and self-improvement. Bruce began by studying math and English while working as a dance instructor in San Francisco. He then moved to Seattle, where he worked as a waiter and lived in a small room above a restaurant. In his free time, he combined work with studying at Edison Technical School and also worked at the Seattle Times doing page layout for advertisements. His wife, Linda Lee, recalled that Edison School was where Bruce began his long journey of personal improvement. This period of his life was filled with trials and hardships, but each successfully overcome stage brought him closer to his dream. From the moment he passed his exams, Bruce had just 13 years left before his death, and those years were filled with both internal and external battles on his path to achieving inner harmony and global fame. How did Bruce Lee break into Hollywood? It all started at the Long Beach Karate Championships in 1964, where Bruce performed a demonstration of Chinese boxing. His unique skills caught the attention of Hollywood hairstylist Jay Sebring, who was so impressed that he told his friend, TV producer William Dozier, about Bruce. At the time, Dozier was looking for an actor for a new show called Number One Son, and after seeing footage of Bruce demonstrating his street fighting abilities, he invited him to audition in Los Angeles. During the audition at 20th Century Fox, Bruce not only spoke about the intricacies of Chinese opera and filming conditions in Hong Kong, but also showcased several signature kung fu moves. His confidence and mastery so impressed the audience that after a light-hearted joke toward a nervous assistant director, Dozier offered him a contract without hesitation. Thus began Bruce Lee's Hollywood journey, which opened up new opportunities and helped him fulfill his dream of global stardom. What happened next? Plans to shoot Number One Son never materialized because of the strong competition from the popular Batman and Robin series, which followed the crime-fighting duo in Gotham City. The success of this superhero story led TV executives to shelve the Bruce Lee project, although he had already received an advance of $1,800. After this setback, Bruce and his family moved to Los Angeles to be closer to the film industry. While waiting for new opportunities, he continued to refine his acting skills and opened several kung fu schools, one in China and two in the US, where only the best were trained. 2.5 years passed before William Dozier called again with an offer. Inspired by the success of Batman, producers at 20th Century Fox decided to create a series called The Green Hornet, based on a radio show about journalist Britt Reed. The lead character transformed into a superhero by night, donning green attire and a mask, and fought crime alongside his assistant Kato. Bruce Lee was cast as Kato. While the Green Hornet had higher production costs and earned less profit than Batman, Bruce Lee's role in this project marked a significant breakthrough. The 30 half-hour episodes not only brought him popularity among American audiences, but also opened the doors to Hollywood, paving the way for his star-studded film career. After his role as Kato in the American TV series The Green Hornet, Bruce Lee appeared in several cameo roles in various projects. However, his real breakthrough came with the 1971 TV series Longstreet, where he played Lee Tsung, a Jeet Kune Do instructor. This role not only boosted his popularity, but also gave him a chance to showcase his philosophy through the famous Be Water monologue, which symbolized deep life understanding and flexibility in martial arts and life itself. This monologue became so popular that it was quoted in various contexts, including marketing, where it was used to illustrate adaptability and flexibility in strategies. Despite his television success, Bruce Lee's big break in cinema continued to elude him. When Warner Brothers began developing the Kung Fu series, Bruce actively contributed to the project, hoping to land the lead role. To his disappointment, the producers decided that having an Asian actor in the lead role might alienate American audiences, and instead cast David Carradine, an actor without Asian heritage. Disheartened by Hollywood, Bruce followed the advice of his friend, actor James Coburn, and returned to Hong Kong, where the film industry was booming. Raymond Chow, head of Golden Harvest, offered Lee the lead role in The Big Boss, marking a pivotal moment in his career. Not only did Lee play the lead role, but he also had full control over the choreography of the fight scenes, which was key to the film's success. The Big Boss became a box office hit, earning over 3.5 million Hong Kong dollars, establishing Lee as a top-tier star. This success was solidified by subsequent hits like Fist of Fury and Way of the Dragon, which not only brought Lee worldwide fame, but also greatly contributed to the global popularity of martial arts. Why did Bruce Lee's star, which had only just begun to shine, suddenly fade? Bruce Lee's death on July 20th, 1973 remains one of the most mysterious in film history. He died in Hong Kong at the age of 32 and was buried a week later in Seattle, USA. Numerous theories have emerged surrounding the cause of his death, leading to hundreds of articles being written. This was fueled by fierce competition among more than 200 Hong Kong newspapers, each vying to publish the biggest sensation. The official cause of death was listed as brain swelling, caused by an allergic reaction to a painkiller Lee had taken before going to sleep. However, many alternative theories exist, ranging from murder by the Chinese mafia or conflicts with kung fu masters to drug overdose or even death during intimate relations, which became the subject of rumors and speculation. After Bruce Lee's death, his image became iconic, leading to many imitators and films attempting to capitalize on his name. Movies such as Bruce Lee in New Guinea and the Invincible Bruce Lee became especially popular, trying to profit from his fame. Game of Death, the last movie Lee was working on before his death, was released 5 years later. The film was completed using stand-ins and archival footage, but it never fully captured the greatness of the true martial arts master that Lee was. His influence on martial arts and cinema is impossible to overestimate, and despite the mystery surrounding his death, Bruce Lee continues to inspire generations around the world, becoming a symbol of strength, discipline, and mastery. A truly extraordinary actor and fighter, don't you agree? Share your thoughts in the comments. What movies of his impressed you the most? And yes, if you love interesting stories and know how to write scripts, edit, or voiceover videos, check out the Telegram bot via the link in the description. I'd love to collaborate. Thanks for watching, friends.